It is Sunday, the 16th of May, 2021. I'm Scott Allen Miller. This is Sheep Guarding Llama, and welcome to the show. It is my Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Is always loud out here. Non-stop traffic, non-stop whatever mechanical noise is always going on. That's a bit rough. There is no quiet place to be. We are here at the hotel. It's our third day. Tonight is our last night. Tomorrow, we are heading to Nicaragua. We started the day, Dominic and I got up and we went to the Wawa, which is, I don't know if we can see it, you can kind of see it beneath the Marble World over there. We went to the Wawa to get breakfast and coffee. Coffee is free all week because it's a grand opening, so it's perfect. So we got tons of coffee, we got huge coffees. We got bagels and breakfast sandwiches for everybody. And while we were there, we found out that our flight for tomorrow has been delayed. Now, it's not a huge deal because it's a private flight. Gosh, the noise. I keep walking and going, trying to get away from all the noise, but it just follows me one way or another. It's so loud all the time. So we got breakfast while we were there. We got this delay, but it's a private flight, so it's not a huge deal that we're delayed. We were supposed to be picked up at like 7 o'clock in the morning and fly out at noon. We are now getting picked up at noon and flying out at like 3 or 3:30, which is not bad. And in many ways, it's going to be better because we're going to get to go to bed at a normal time tonight. We're going to get to wake up and do stuff at a normal time tomorrow. And we're going to get to the airport, again, really, really early compared to our flight. And we're just going to be stuck sitting at the airport for a while. That's not the worst thing in the world. We're just sitting in the hotel anyway. So we might as well sit at the airport and know all of our stuff is there, know everything is done, have all of our ducks in a row, nothing left to do, just wait for the flight. It just keeps going. So we did that. We came back and hung out at the hotel. Very little going on today. This is our one day of as little as possible. My allergies are terrible. They really kicked on yesterday. Today was just atrocious for how bad my allergies are. It's typically how it goes. It takes a couple days for me to work through it. So it's just a whole day of just sneezing nonstop, much like it was when I was in Georgia a few weeks ago. And I got an itchy throat, my eyes hurt. But it's just flowers here in the South. So I'll be okay. But boy, do I feel awful. Dominica took the girls swimming today. This is the one time that Liesl decided to go swimming. So they spent hours out there, which was really nice. So they had a nice time. The girls and I took a walk over to Wawa again. We decided that Wawa has enough food and it's so convenient and it's really inexpensive. It's a gas station on a grand opening, so they have all these deals. So we just keep getting stuff over there. So we went over and we got milkshakes and some treats like that. Came back. They wanted French fries to go with them and mozzarella sticks. They were out of mozzarella sticks. They don't make French fries. So I went over to the McDonald's, which is that building, right there. So that's really easy. So I just walked over there, got French fries. They actually accidentally made an ice cream cone. So I got a mini ice cream cone for free while I was waiting for my fries. That was nice. Came back. Liesl has been interested in photography, so I took her out to the pool area with the Nikon D90, walked through all the settings, and taught her how to use it. So she went and did some picture taking with the D90 today. That was a lot of fun. It started to rain towards the end, so we came inside, but that was really cool, and that's a lot of fun, and she thinks that's something that she's going to want to do. When we were back, we were going through some of the stuff we needed to go through for tomorrow. And one of the things we have is some of our old cameras are with us. I'm going to take some pictures of it before we throw them out. But we have our really old Kodak video camera. We have our first Kodak digital camera. And then we have our later Kodak digital camera, the V1253. That's the one that I really loved. It was small. It was really attractive. It had stereo sound for video, did 720p. It's the camera that we had when Liesl was born, when we were pregnant with her. Is the camera that I used to take on Wall Street with me. So, and had it 1180 when we lived in Newark. And so a lot of that era, that's the camera that we captured those things with, and they have really good pictures from that time. It's a 12 megapixel camera, which is actually the same as my Nikon D90. Which is crazy. Now today, of course, 12 is like, you use a 12 megapixel? Like, what are you doing? The absolute minimum you would ever consider buying today is 16. That's the Olympus pen. and that people often poo-poo because it's only 16. Generally, you won't go below 20, and good ones are 20 to 26, and really good ones are above that. So 12 is really low, which is partially why it's time to replace my D90, although megapixels is hardly the primary thing, but that's a big deal. Like, it does not take images large enough for a lot of use cases anymore. They used to say, oh, you'll never need bigger than this. It's kind of like Bill Gates with which he never said, but the famous meme of you'll never need more than 640K of RAM. Of course you will, and of course 12 megapixels doesn't cut it. There's a lot of reasons you need a lot more. So, but it's a really nice camera. It's really easy to use. It's tiny. I love the size. I absolutely love it. Just throw it in your pocket, take it anywhere. It did decent pictures, has good Zeiss glass on it. So really happy that we actually found it. And Lisa's like, I'd really like to use that. And so I'm like, well, it's got a battery in it. The only thing missing is an SD card, which of course I've got lots of. And so I'm like, but we don't have a charger or anything for it. Well, I looked through the bag that we were throwing stuff out. We found the charger. So we grabbed the charger, grabbed the camera, plugged it in, charged it up. She's going to try using it. So that's really cool. So she has her own camera now for doing stuff. The older one is only a 10 megapixel. And it's really similar camera, a little bit bigger. It's kind of a pink metallic. She liked how it looked. I never liked the look of that one. The later one was so cool, but it is what it is. And we can't carry and keep all those things. It just gets ridiculous at some point. But this one's so small, so we're going to keep it. So I'm happy about that because I kind of forgotten this camera, but it's like, it's a big memory camera for us. It's been around for a long time and been a part of our lives. So I'd like to see it not disappear. Maybe someday it'll end up on a shelf. You know, I'll have like a shelf in my office with like old cameras. Like, that's cool. As long as I don't have to pack them up and keep them or something. So that was pretty much what we did for the day. I did a bit of work, just trying to get things done, helped Alan out on some projects. He's feeling sick today. And then for dinner tonight, went back over to Wawa and got like real food for everybody. Luciana got pasta. We got mozzarella sticks this time. Lisa wanted oatmeal, but they only do it for breakfast, which we didn't know. The way their menu works, you have no idea that those things work that way. So we ended up not being able to get that, got her something else. But overall, we did okay on food. We didn't eat a ton. All of us kind of ate pretty light, which is good because we're flying tomorrow. And that was it. That was our night. I did a bit of uploading of pictures to Flickr. I did a little bit of editing, that kind of stuff. But everyone just pretty much took it easy, starting to charge devices, getting everything ready for tomorrow. So that is where we are tonight. Our day is over. Today was our last day living in America. That's like, we've done that before. Like I keep saying, like when we moved to Spain, we had that famous last day. And I still remember getting my last meal at Waffle House and being like, all right, I'm getting this big American breakfast out of the way. I'm getting some pecan pie with butter on it on the grill. That's it. My last American meal for a long time when I moved away. But this is different. This is as far as we know, the last day that we will ever live in America. The country that we were all born in, our native home for generations. As of today, or tomorrow, as of today, we're done with this being our full-time home indefinitely. We have no plans of coming back. When we went to Spain, when we went to Nicaragua before, all those places, we always knew we were coming back. Those were temporary moves. This is not a temporary move, and so this is very different. Of course, we're going to be back, we're going to be visiting, but we'll be visiting America. We won't be living in America. So today was kind of an epic day for that stuff. The car's done. That was yesterday. For those who follow, there's no news on the house. There's not going to be news on the house for several days. So I'd appreciate if people don't ask, because it's overwhelming, all the stuff going on, and having to explain things that we know ahead of time there will be no news for days. I will put the news on here, right? It takes a long time. There is a huge lizard just ran by. Huge. I mean, it's probably that big, but really cool looking. I do not know what this is. That is, oh, there's two of them. Wow. We ran into tons of brown animals down here, which is really common. I'm going to see if I can get him on video. There's a couple of them. You can see this one right here. What are you? I don't know what that is. I know there's some iguanas here, but those are way too small. But maybe they're baby iguanas, but there's multiple. They could be northern curly tails. I don't know if I can identify those very well. There's lots of lizards in Florida, so I'm trying to. They're all really cool. I like lizards. So that's it. Our time in America is done. I will see everybody tomorrow when the adventure begins for real.